Hello and welcome to my review of Hades, the roguelike action hack-and-slash role-playing dungeon crawler developed and published by SuperGiant Games that marks their fourth release from the studio. Originally designed to be a story about the Greek hero Theseus escaping the ever-shifting labyrinth called Minos, it was later changed to focus on Zagreus and the Greek underworld to provide a more interesting narrative that still blended together roguelike elements and story. Having been in early access since December of 2018, the finished product was officially released for digital download on PC and Nintendo Switch on the 17th of September 2020, with the Switch also receiving a physical release 6 months down the line. On August 13, 2021, Hades was ported onto the PlayStation and Xbox consoles. For those looking to play this game, what can you expect? In short, a lot of death. But for more information, let's go to hell and find out.
So Hades, you finally made it. How are things in the underworld?
Well, they're just fine. You know, a little dark, a little gloomy, and as always, hey, full of dead people. What are you gonna do?
Few tales are told of Hades, whose very name inspires fear and penitence, reminding us of the inevitable fate which we all share. I, however, mean to tell you such a tale. Listen carefully.
Enter into the world of the dead. Hades' story pits Lord Zagreus, son of Hades, against the full might of the Greek underworld. Even with the aid from his relatives on Mount Olympus, Zagreus must navigate past the treacherous crypts to reach the world above. Told through a series of dialogue interactions with gods and heroes, each progressive run will unlock new conversations, and even more gods will make their presence known later on, opening up even more opportunities to extract information. As Zag clears rooms and ascends the levels of hell, every step will bring him closer to his goal. But until that final step, what lies beyond remains a dream. One would hardly fault you if hell wasn't on your list of places to visit, but from the comical portrayal of Hades buried beneath a mountain of paperwork, to the choice of rug placed down, there's a little something for everyone. From the very beginning of your journey, you'll be greeted by the unique and diverse residents of the underworld, some wishing you success, others charged with preventing your escape. With gods and heroes reimagined and brought to life through portraits and combat, from the dungeon-like chambers of Tartarus to the fiery caverns of Asphodel, Hades' colorful style is visually inviting, and the artwork is devilishly dazzling and deceptively detailed. With relatives from Mount Olympus more than willing to help you escape, their limited influence into the underworld prevents them from simply ordering you a chariot ride to the heavenly summit, leaving you little choice but to fight your way out. Handling with an isometric view and a camera lock on your character, it's akin to a Diablo-esque perspective, and it follows suit with SuperGiant's previous releases. As you navigate the revolving chambers of the underworld, no two consecutive runs will be identical. Within any given run, you'll be given a choice between different rooms, marked with an emblem above that signifies the reward if cleared successfully. Most rooms will throw you into a gladiatorial fight with all manner of creatures and monstrous beings, but some will offer a moment of respite. Combat is fast-paced and frenetic, but also incredibly fluid. To fight these enemies, you have 4 primary abilities: a standard attack, special attack, a cast ability, and a dash, with a 5th ability locked until later. The help from your relatives will come in the form of a boon that will empower one of these abilities with a bit of heroic panache. As you receive blessings from your Olympian benefactors, mix, match, and upgrade boons to find a combination that will take you to the finish line. The possibilities are nearly endless. Crucially, the controls were responsive and precise, which was important for a fast-paced action game like this. The keyboard works fine enough, but for most, a controller will provide the best experience. You'll be given 3 difficulty options: a standard difficulty, a hell mode, and a god mode. God mode can be activated in the menus once you've started your game, and will give you a 20% damage resistance that increases with each death. Choosing Hell mode is a permanent choice that will immediately invoke the Pact of Punishment and disable the use of God mode. However, the standard mode will still pose quite a challenge. At the beginning, you'll enter Hell at your weakest form, and the moderate learning curve will have you familiarizing yourself with the different enemies, traps, rewards, and boons early on. Completing your first successful run will unlock new challenges for subsequent runs that will also unlock additional story elements. If you're unfamiliar with roguelike games, Hades implements some core elements shared with other games within the genre. A permanent death means you'll have to start each new run from room 1. and the procedurally generated rooms provide an element of unpredictability that ensures variations between each run, adding a high level of replayability. Unless you happen to complete the golden run on your first attempt, you will die, again and again. But that's part of the appeal, or almost entrapment-like nature of these games. Returning for another run is easy, and experimenting with new boon combinations is all but guaranteed because of the random nature of each attempt. Your punishment for dying is that you have to start over, but Hades also incorporates some RPG elements that make the game a bit more forgiving and interesting when you die. Being hidden in the depths below, Hades and the underworld would sometimes be associated with wealth for the gemstones, precious metals, and even the fertile soil found beneath the surface. Carrying over between runs are a few goods that can be bartered or spent on improvements. Using the precious gemstones and diamonds you've collected, you can talk to the house Contractor to renovate rooms within the Great Hall, or even the Chambers of Hell themselves. Renovations can help with runs, unlock story elements, or simply serve as cosmetic decorations. In the vast gilded halls of the underworld, Zagreus has a bedroom to call his own. Alongside his belongings leans a mirror against the wall, which reflects a version of his best self. The Mirror of Night acts as a basic skill tree that will allow you to spend any darkness you have acquired. Upgrading these perks or talents will make you less fragile, and subsequent runs just that little bit easier. Beyond your bedroom is the training room and armory housing your weapons. You'll start with the Stygian blade, but there are more weapons to unlock using chthonic keys. Completing runs is weapon specific, so completing a run with a different weapon will grant you the opportunity to earn boss rewards again. Among the treasure troves hidden deep within the earth, you can find bottles of nectar. Gift gods and heroes a bottle of this irresistible delight and they will return the favor with a gift of their own, a keepsake. Housed in a glass cabinet near your Infernal Arms, your keepsakes are equipable trinkets that provide a bonus depending on the giver. And there are quite a few gods and heroes to connect with. The colorful cast of characters spans a sizable portion of the extensive underworld and Olympian hierarchy. From your old man to your doting seafaring uncle, to the lovable whipping boy Skelly, you're bound to find interacting with these characters charming. You never asked to be born, but you're part of a family wrought with jealousy, affairs, and even acts of betrayal. The trial of the gods will show that even the relationships between deities are temperamental at best. Hades implements a social system not unlike that from the Persona games. As you progress through the game, foster your burgeoning relationships with the citizens of Greek mythology, and you'll uncover family secrets from conversational breadcrumbs. SuperGiant's Hades very much keeps the spirit of the dysfunctional family intact, but presents it in a much more lighthearted tone.
Come on, Hades, don't be such a stiff. Join the celebration.
Hey, love to, babe. But unlike you gods lounging about up here, I regrettably have a full-time gig that you, by the way, so charitably bestowed on me, Zeus. So, can't. Love to, but can't.
I was surprised the developers took some time to incorporate side activities into the game. It's commonly believed that there are 5 rivers that run through the underworld, each representing an emotion associated with death, and it's within these waters you'll catch the dwellers of the deepest depths. Handing these scaly fiends over to the kitchen chef will net you tradable goods to be used for the previously mentioned progressions. The voice acting and dialogue were well done. From the sultry voice of Nyx, to Zagreus' comments to the narrator, the voice acting gives the characters personality. Runs both successful and unsuccessful will advance the dialogue between characters. And the never repetitive dialogue made the game feel alive, and not like stale lines of code.
The risk is not to me. I expected the Olympians would involve themselves in this eventually. Reveal to them no more than they already know. Are we understood?
The soundtrack and sound design were also good. Most of the music is ambient, that focuses on creating a certain atmosphere. The soundtrack has a few memorable tracks, but it wasn't something I noticed while in the heat of battle. The sound design was solid, giving you good feedback on attacks and interactions with enemies and objects. Hailing from the deepest depths of the earth is a story from the afterlife where the severity of your crime determines your station. Prince Zagreus' only crime is being born into this family. He must fight the denizens of hell to catch a glimpse of the mythical sunlit sky. Hades is a unique game that offers action, roguelike gameplay, RPG elements with an equally interesting story to match. From the devilishly charming artwork to the dynamic voice acting, it's Hades' stellar gameplay that will have you coming back for more. While the moderate learning curve will see you struggle at first, Death isn't so much a punishment as it is an opportunity to explore new strategies, hone your skills, and progress your character. Hades is a game I recommend, and if you give this game a try, you'll understand why death is just the beginning. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of the game. Until next time, see ya.